Yeah, if I could
Uh,
pass myself off as Cillian Murphy, I'd hardly be spending a holiday spending my time talking to you now, would I? Like,
Pizza, hot dogs, ice cream, and more to your seat. Find out more at Eclipse Cinemas.
Time to join our man at the movies up there in Eclipse Cinemas in Bundoran. Collie, great week of movies. Small thing,
so
I
many
think.
movies. You think, with Halloween that we'd be at the end of it, but we're really only starting. November is nuts, Jamie. We
Yeah.
have movies that would be worth, would make up the whole of the summer, all coming in November. But we have to start. Jamie, I had a bit of a dilemma today. So,
Yeah.
as you know, like most people are listening to this on radio, but so a lot of people do watch the Facebook stream and the Instagram stream now that you're on Instagram as
Well,
well.
thanks very much. Yeah.
But so we usually make an effort. Like when there was Elvis, we dressed up and things like that. And it's Halloween. It's Halloween.
Yeah.
So I thought I should dress up, right? But then I thought the movie I'm going to be talking about, small things like these, right?
Yeah.
It's not really a dress up movie now.
No,
Like
no, no, no.
it's not really, hey, let's get. And I thought, I could dress as a nun or something. And then I went, I might be taken away from the point of what's an excellent movie. So I did make a little bit of an effort to go as a coal man. What do you think there? Now,
I think that's
realized,
a poor effort, but anyway.
yeah, if I could pass myself off as Cillian Murphy, I'd hardly be spending a holiday spending my time talking to you now, would I? Like that's not what I'd be doing.
Anyway,
this was
2
my
points
effort
for the
anyway.
effort. 2 points for the effort.
Thank you. So will we play the clip first, and then
we'll play the clip?
Yeah,
because it's.
Stay on the right side of people.
What if it was one of ours?
They're not our cards. So what do we have to answer for?
Don't you ever question it?
The Lord is compassion and love, slow to anger and rich in mercy. The love of the Lord is everlasting upon those who fear him.
They surely can make things difficult. The actual trailer is like really haunting, and you just want to get in there and find out more, don't you?
And the film is like that, and it's written by the same woman who wrote on Collie and Kuhn, and they have a lot in common in that there's so much said in the silences. And I know that always sounds like an oxymoron, but it's true. And Cillian Murphy is so good at that. He did same in Oppenheimer. That such expressive face. And what this is, it is the story of, what goes on in a small town. And it opens up and you go, oh, it's old fashioned. And then the Barry McGuigan fights on the radio and you go, oh, wow, I remember that. And suddenly you go, God, old fashioned isn't so long ago. And that is the life we live. And he's in New Ross and he's a coal man and he's just going about his life. But like a lot of people, a lot of tradespeople who visit houses, visit places, they see what's going on. And something we're all guilty of about maybe not looking as closely as we should. And this is a movie, unlike say the Magdalene sisters or something like that, where it's, right in what was going on, what was going wrong. This is not that movie. This is a movie about the people at the side, the people who every generation, said, oh, sure, we didn't know what was going on. But like, let's face it, most of us knew something. Something wasn't great. But we chose not to think too hard about it. And we said, well, they're good people. If they said that's the way it must be, even though something feels off about it. And this is great. And I think, there's something to be said for Cillian Murphy as well, in that when you win the Oscar, you've pretty much carte blanche. You can do anything you want. And he had one of the biggest movies in the world and he could do anything he want. And he decided to raise up this small Irish movie and give it star quality. While, it's not an ego trip. He is very much, the camera is on him most of the time. And he's a story of a good man. And you've kind of find out his reasons why he might think, shouldn't we help? And everyone is saying to him, but it's none of our business. And like, all you'll be thinking through the movie is whether it's, 1985 or 2024. But sure, that's not my business. I'm not Ukrainian or Palestinian or Israeli. I'm not a woman. I'm not a man. You look at Trump's America now, where you go, well, it's not, they got themselves into trouble. That's for them to sort out. And you sit yourself going, everything has changed, and yet nothing has changed. I thought this was a brilliant movie. I have to say, I watched it at 8:30 in the morning. It was a hard 8:30 in the morning watch. But I know there's lots of people who are interested in seeing it, but going, will this be too upsetting? And while I did feel it very moving and emotional, it's not explicit. It's a 12A, so everything is kind of off the screen slightly, but you know it is emotionally very poignant and hits hard. And of course, it's on the Leaving Cert as well. The book's on the Leaving Cert, so there are lots of kids of all ages will be going to see it, and it's brilliant that 18-year-olds will be going to see it and going. And you know, their first thing is going, sure, isn't it great? That's all in the past. And again, look at the newspapers. Not everything's in the past.
Not everything.
It'll only stay in the past if we remember what happened. I think it's a brilliant movie, and I think people are going to really enjoy. It's probably the one they're really going to get something out of it. I'd highly recommend it, and don't let being worried that it's too upsetting put you off. It's a very good movie.
Well, with Cillian Murphy starring, that's enough to bring you to the movie because you know it's going to be good. That's small things like these. When does it open?
It opens tomorrow.
Tomorrow for sure. Okay, a movie. I'm always looking forward to a Clint Eastwood movie. Clint is still making movies. He must be
94, I think. Yeah, 94.
94, is he? This is his new movie, and do you like it?
Funny enough, I knew very little about it, and I have to say that's the way to see it. And I'm really going to be vague about this one because it is now quite a well-known book. Which Clint has often done. And like Clint was one of my big heroes growing up. And then you kind of find out as a person, maybe not quite as heroic as I thought, but you know, always made interesting movies. And one of the things, something you like as well, is he likes a lean movie. He likes to cut off the fat. You're about 10 seconds into this movie and it started. You know, the story has started, the plot has started. And what it is can you imagine 12 Angry Men, one of the greatest movies ever made? And the whole thing was Henry Fonda's character who was saying, but what if didn't have an axe to grind? There was no reason for it. He was just being curious. But what if he had? What if there was a reason he was asking these questions? What if he was somewhat involved in the case? And I didn't know how. I just knew Nicholas Hoult was somehow involved in the case. Now, I was halfway through the movie when I realized it was Nicholas Hoult who plays the juror number 2, and Tony Collette plays the prosecutor. And I went, hang on, they were mum and son in About a Boy, another brilliant movie. And it took me ages to realize, wow, we're all so old now. But this is a really interesting courtroom thriller. Most of the movie is in the courtroom. And if you like that sort of thing, if you read the sort of The Runaway Jury and Time to Kill, John Grisham type of stuff, those sort of books, you'll really enjoy this. But what I would say is don't Google it. Don't look up Wikipedia. Just go and see it. It's a good, fun thriller.
Okay. That's Juror 2, and that officially opens
tomorrow.
Tomorrow as well. Okay. Now you've got a horror thriller for me, and I'm actually probably going to see this because Hugh Grant is in this, and it's Heretic, and he plays kind of a Moorman guy in this.
He's a religious professor, professor of theology who meets these Mormons and kind of crouches them. And there seems to be something more to it. And it is great. One of the things Hugh Grant has done in his recent years, turned that charm and charisma to quite creepy, to very funny effect in Bridget Jones and in Paddington 2. But it's a slightly creepier effect if anybody saw a Very English Scandal about Jeremy Thorpe, one of the best TV shows I've seen in ages. And I didn't know that story at all. And in this, he uses that sort of charm and very English witticism to be this very, suave and debonair professor. But then he says some things and you go, I don't know if you should be saying that. This looks really good. I've only seen the trailer as well. Now, this opens tonight. This is getting its first showing tonight, and it's already sold a lot of tickets. So there's obviously an interest in it. And Hugh Grant, for so many people couldn't stand and didn't really like his acting, there's really been a renaissance in his career. And I'm looking forward to seeing this. Nicely creepy in the right way. And looks very interesting. It's called Heretic, and it previews tonight, and then it's open for the whole weekend.
Some great reviews about that. Right. Okay. One of my favorite films is coming back, The Shawshank Redemption. What a great film.
What a great film. We try and show it a couple of times a year. Also on the Leaving Cert, of course, which is one of the reasons we bring it back from time to time. Because, I know people have DVD and streaming and so on. But let's face it, The Shawshank Redemption has to be seen on the big screen. And funny, there was an article in the newspaper today I shared that they did a thing about the top 10 film flops that became classics of all time. And of course, Shawshank Redemption is straight there. I've said this every time we've talked about it on the radio, Jamie. It was a flop. It was an absolute flop in the cinema. Nobody went to see it except Muggins here. Did go and see it because I'd read the Stephen King book. And then it was on, it was on video that it became a huge hit. In the same way, loads of things are becoming hits on Netflix now. TV shows that weren't hits at the time are hits on Netflix 5 years later. People discover them and talk about them. Whether you've never seen it or whether you've seen it 10 times, it's always great. It's always brilliant. We can quote it all. And it is one of those movies that when you're coming across it and you go, I've seen this loads of times before, I should go to bed. You can't, can you? You have to watch it to the end.
Just get into it.
Yep.
Mystic Monday, right? You're bringing back another creepy movie.
Yeah, a creepy movie. One that I didn't see. Talk about disturbing. Like I was saying about, small things like these can be disturbing, but in an emotional way. This is just full on disturbing. Demi Moore, again, who's been out of the spotlight for so long. It's a body horror about wanting eternal youth. It's got rave reviews, won awards in Cannes. I can't wait to see it. I missed it because of my knee operation. I'm going to go and see it Monday for a $5.
So he's bringing it back for a $5. You've got Buffalo Kids coming back, a friendly one for the kids.
Yeah, I just wanted to say this because once a month we do an autism-friendly screening, sensory-friendly, and it's Buffalo Kids. It's a very cute story about Irish immigrants. And maybe, this weekend, when people have been a bit overloaded after trick-or-treating and so on, that'd be a nice little treat to calm everyone down.
A sugar download, yeah. That's it. Collie on movies as per usual, and the best of Eclipse Cinemas up there. Till next Thursday, enjoy the movies.
Bye.